much of the coverage that we've seen over the years has been really the horse race, the political coverage, and so on. I think the story has shifted now to a focus on the consumer, the person who will have to go to these exchanges. One of these 24 million people the Affordable Care Act was all about. So I think that this has become an old-fashioned consumer story, the kind of stories that old reporters like me used to do in the days of Ralph Nader and through the 70s and 80s. What I've done on the CJR website, it's really a how-to for reporters and for the public to kind of walk through the decision points one has to make when going to your state exchange. And it doesn't matter whether your state is running it or the federal government is running it. It is a very complicated shopping decision. It is not like buying a plane ticket to Paris. It's not as much fun as buying a plane ticket to Paris. What I do in that piece is lay out step by step what people have to know and think about. And the trade-offs are very difficult. There will be lots of policies available, and instead of worrying about whether there's going to be low premiums or high premiums, the premiums are going to be what they are. And there will be low premiums for some people, and there are going to be high premiums for some people. And that's going to depend a lot on your age, your family size, where you live, what kind of policy you're going to buy. Whether you're going to be satisfied with a cheapie policy, a bronze model, I like to call them, that covers only 60% of your costs, or a better one that covers 90 or 80% of your costs.
So you're saying reporters are not helping much by asking generic questions about will premiums be lower or higher? It's really the time for specific, concrete information about the variety of options people are going to have and, the various things they need to think about as they make those choices.
Absolutely. I don't think it matters at all whether last year's premiums are lower or higher than this year's. They're not even the same policies in that particular market. So those kinds of comparisons are fallacious to begin with. And unfortunately, a lot of public officials have been making them. It's also equally wrong to say that rates are just going to go through the roof. In Ohio, they were predicting rate increases of 88%. Well, there are probably going to be pretty high rates in Ohio, but not in the neighborhood of 88%. And in Ohio, the reason is that they've had very little regulation to begin with. So when you bring in some of the regulation in Obamacare, that's going to raise premiums in many places. So what we really have here is a very complicated shopping task for people. And to blow it off, I think, is doing the public a real disservice.